Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another YouTube video. It's a chest day today, so we're going to run through all of that. I'm going to get all of my intra, pre, and my coffee ready so that I may go to the gym. Run you through the session today. Going to go to the Saltney gym, the new gym, which is still a Meritor gym, because that's where I'm doing my chest session at the minute. I am back into the deficit now, so bit different to what you'd expect. It's not just like a straight, normal, linear deficit. I am doing high days and low days. So we're doing 5 low days in a row with cardio. So that's 45 minutes of cardio, and the food is 180 protein, 360 carb, and 55 fat. And then I'm doing 2 high days. So those 2 high days, 0 cardio, which might shock some of you, but 600 grams of carbs with the same protein and 60 fat. So yeah, big difference there. But the idea is you basically, with the cardio and with the reduced food, you're creating a 500 calorie deficit with the cardio. And then in terms of the differences between the food, there is a big old whacker difference. So you end up with a 1,000 calorie deficit on the low days, and then you have 2 high days where you are essentially 1,000 over. So you're still working with a consistent deficit throughout the week. You're essentially just pulling down, refilling, pulling down, refilling. It's very basic, very simple. Apart from it's just a strategy which is rarely ever used with people. So you know how we are. Vicky likes to do it differently, especially with me. But yes, that's how we do things moving forward. And already I am 99.6 kilos this morning, which is 3.4 off my weight cap, so not far at all. And I'm still, 9 and a bit, maybe 10 weeks out from Detroit. So loads of time to refine and just hold size and just get better. So really happy on all fronts with that. So no worries at all. That's how things are at the minute. Easy peasy, to be honest. By the 4th or 5th day, I do start to get like, but then you know the 2 days are coming. So it's kind of like, yeah, I'm fine. So we're good. Something I need to do this morning before I go to the gym is go over to my new house, which is in Chester. And I need to take some photos because I need to do my council tax, and it's not going to be occupied until the summer. So I need to sort all that out, take photos. Pre-workout. I've always used this Strom Basque Max. I just haven't changed from it. I've always used it. So I like it, like the taste. It makes me feel good. Non-stim pre-workout, because I can't drink stim pre-workout. I can have coffee. Artificial caffeine sets off my prostate problem, so can't have it. So non-stim it is, seen me through, don't need it for prep at all. If you start getting hooked on needing a pre-workout, like needing a stim-based pre-workout, usually I found when I was still able to take them, it actually just made my session worse. Just end up jittery and like reliant upon the fact that you need to feel like off your tits to try and even lift a weight, which is just silly, you just become dependent. So I'd suggest for bodybuilding, using something which vasodilates rather than constricts, which is what Basque Max will do, vasodilate, because we want to get as much nutrient and blood, hormone to the muscle, rather than just feeling like we need to be stimmed off our head from caffeine. I mean, I still drink coffee, but I don't have all the rest of the other stimulants which gets put in a lot of those stim-based pre-workouts. So yeah, feel a lot better for it. All right, ladies and gents, we're in the gaff. Shall we have a look? Turn round, you bastard. Front door. Hallway. Harry Potter cupboard. In case, I need to imprison some soon-to-be wizards. Pegs. Right. Living area / kitchen. There's a lot of work that needs doing here. But it's a terraced house. It's pretty nice. But there's a lot of shit that needs doing. So this will probably be the kitchen area. At the minute, that is the kitchen area. And there are many problems with this kitchen area. It's like an out bit of the house. And it's got a fair bit of mold, so we need to get all that sorted. But at the minute, it looks all like this. It's very much a refurb job. We have a garden out here as well, a small little garden with raised bed and water butt included. That's going. I'll have to take that apart. Cat flap, just in case I want a cat. A peg for no reason. So that's the garden. It's time to unlock the door, show you the rest of it. So it's only small, but it'll do the job very nicely. This kitchen area, this has got to get ripped off because these tiles are subsiding. So this has all got to be taken out. So that'll be a nice bit of a job there. Little seat on the raised bed, which needs fucking removing. Nice little cubby hole thing, which I'm not allowed to open there. But yes, nice bit of space. still, that roof needs doing. Let's head upstairs. Fairly tight stairwell, but you know, it's a terraced house. It's not going to be a grand hallway, is it? And immediately in front of us we have the bathroom. Only one in here at the minute. We'll probably get another one downstairs where that kitchen is. But yeah, toilet, bath, shower. Yeah, classics, you know. It's a nice enough big window there. There is a loft and a smoke alarm apparently. One of 2 bedrooms, so this would be the spare or the second bedroom. It's fairly sizable, you know, some storage space up there, nice. And then we've got a tiny little office for me through here. It's just got a set of ladders in it, nice little office area. Through to what would be the master bedroom, which looks out over the road. Inbuilt cupboards, hence the master, and obviously the wood flooring in here. Onto the road there, nice. But yes, that is the gaff.
So I had planned on filming with a microphone here, but as you can see there is one on my collar, but it just did not work. So here we are with a voiceover. Anyway, first exercise, pec deck. This is a Flex Fitness pec deck. It's very old school. You're actually slightly leant back, which lends itself to your elbows almost being in a decline position. Arms are obviously not straight out, but I quite like the fact they're not straight out. Takes the bicep out of the movement. In terms of tempo, I am getting a super mega deep stretch on this as well, which is another beautiful aspect of this machine. And obviously getting a pause in that contraction. The whole point of a pec deck is to obviously get the pec as short as it can go. But at the same time, we do not want to be missing out on the stretch because that is where the most damage is done. So we definitely want to be absolutely hammering the shit out of that stretch. It also sets up the movement as in for the next rep. So take the momentum out of the rep and keep things moving along in a very controlled manner. Obviously trying to get into my partials there. Next thing, onto the incline bench, we have a wonderful Smith machine. This has James fucking around. We have a wonderful Smith machine for this. This is a Cybex Smith. It is basically straight up and down, completely vertical, super duper smooth, very nice and light. But when you start putting weight on it, it gets fucking heavy. I'm not a very strong presser. Oh, nice violent slide into the seat there. I'm not a very strong presser, so I'm really working on trying to get better at it. So incline presses here, 30-degree incline. Hands, I've not got them super duper wide because I want my wrist to fall within my elbow. Allows for much more power. I'm also splaying my elbow outwards to get a lot of stretch through the pec rather than thinking that I need to drive them inwards and try and move as much weight as I can because I'll just place a load of stress on the delt and the tricep rather than the chest. So we want to be relatively weak in that position. We want it to be challenging. So 2 sets here, 1 straight set and then 1 rest pause set, which I just get straight into here. Nice big pauses on the chest bar all the way down there. Not necessarily getting a massive lockout, just keeping tension on the chest here. I'm really trying to obviously drive on and get through into them titties. And then rest pause straight in. I think I get 1, maybe 2 reps. I really need to get stronger at chest. I feel like a child at the minute. There you go. And slide out of there. Next, we are on to flat press. I don't really get on with that many flat press machines, so I've swapped over to Flat Smith, and a lot of people say that obviously like flat barbell isn't a very good movement for chest. I'd have to say that they're fucking wrong. You're just performing the movement wrong. You know, you don't want to be doing it as a powerlifter. You don't want to be moving the bar in that sort of J shape involving a shed load of delt and tricep, as I said with the incline press as well. You still want to splay your elbows out wide and really get a lot of stretch through the actual chest fiber. So when it comes to this stuff, you do have to actually get your elbows out wide rather than thinking that you can tuck them. Seen loads of people be like, oh yeah, tuck your chest, tuck your elbows for more chest. And it's like, you tuck your elbows anatomically, you're going to get less chest. So that makes no sense. Anyway, another straight set of rest pause here because my brain was clearly on rest pauses today. But it does work very well for a lot of these machines. You know, I could have drop set the pec deck, but I just prefer going for rest pause. And given that I don't really want to have to get out of this then take weight off, it's much easier just to do a rest pause in a drop set. So the movement lends itself to that intensify, and obviously I can eke out a few more reps here, especially those stretch partial ones, and then slide out, limbo out from underneath the bar. Wonderful stuff. Okay, on to the Nautilus machine lateral. I really like this machine. I think a lot of people try and treat these like dumbbell raises, when in fact you should be trying to treat these like cuff lying laterals, is what I would say. And also the pads that you use, I think a lot of people use them just for their elbow. I actually suggest you think about using them for your entire forearm, because you make a lot more contact with it at that point. And you can get those handles all the way to the top. Yeah, you might get a bit of trap, but you get a shitload of lateral delt, because they go all the way up, don't they? That's what they do. They literally take your shoulder all the way up, or your elbow even. So yeah, 2 straight sets here with the same tempo, so a nice pause in the stretch and a bit of a pause in the contraction as well, all the way up. The third set is a faster tempo one, so I'm not getting a pause in either end there. I'm just banging the reps out. Really, really good for blood flow. I've also got the titties out now, so we're looking fucking huge. But yeah, really, really good in terms of getting a shed load of blood in there and just really smashing the shit out of lateral delt. My delts have never really been a strong point. But, you know, they're all right. They're not a weakness either. So it's just one of those where we're just getting a lot of volume there. And you can see it hurts. I am very weak at this. Obviously, we're very far along in the session now. So neutral grip pressing. I've never been any good overhead pressing regardless. Obviously, getting very, very deep, especially with the neutral grip, you can get extremely deep and get a lot of range of motion through that front delt. So this is a very useful movement for not using too much in the way of load, but also getting a hell of a lot out of it for the front delt. Also, you're going to hit the other heads of the shoulder as well. But obviously, when we've got the elbow tucked forward like that, then we're hitting a hell of a lot of shoulder, which is really, really good. You see, I'm barely using any weight, and it's a struggle, which is, if anything, what I want. I don't want to be using the stack with ease, especially this far on the session, because either I'd be super strong or I'd just not be getting a lot of range of motion. So yeah, a straight set here, and then onto a set with a drop at the end of it, just to really smash the shit out of the shoulder. Yep. See, my face is absolutely burning at this point. But yeah, this is what we want. We want to get really, really good just into that shoulder and get as much blood into there as possible. Normally, after this, I would be moving into a dip, but I have moved dips to my arm day. Away from this day, because I would just be doing it at the end of the session. I wasn't really progressing it because of all this pressing beforehand. So what we've got now is dumbbell front raises, and I've not included all 5 cluster set rounds because that would be very boring, but I've just shown you what it is. So it's 1 cluster set, which is 10 reps, 5 rounds. So 10 reps, the tempo is quick. We're not doing any pauses because we're just trying to literally get those reps out and just put a shitload of blood in the front delt here. So we're just banging them out. But 10 reps, you rest for 10 seconds, and then you go again. By the 4th set, you should be starting to struggle. Those first 3, literally just getting blood flow into that front delt. I think some people might view this as like obviously the optimal. The guys who are super duper optimal. I'm not saying that I'm not relatively science-based when it comes to lifting, but those guys probably be like, well, it's just silly. It's like, give it a try. It fucking hurts. At the end of the day, training is just the release of areochronic acid in the muscle. That's what we're looking for, i.e. muscular damage. Anyway, onto toe presses. I really like doing calves on the stack-loaded or pin-loaded leg presses now. You can just get your knee fully locked out and really just press straight through the ball of the foot. Get a super duper deep on the stretch as well, and nicely into that contraction. Nice and controlled. Look how big the tricep is though. But yeah, 2 straight sets here, and then 1 rest pause into a drop set. So basically brutalize the calves to finish them off. This is the last exercise as well. But yeah, it's pretty fucking solid movement. I only recently really discovered these. Saw Louis Blackmore doing them, and I was like, well, Louis's got giant calves, so I'll give it a crack. And funnily enough, it worked, and yeah, I've added them as a staple now. So calves 3 times a week for me, but whenever I do them, I do 1 exercise each time, and then do about 2 to 3 sets on each exercise, and that really blitzes them. By that point, I don't really want to be doing another calf exercise after this, but this is all gastrocnemius, so the inside part of your calf, the part of the calf that can look really, really large. And really, really cool, really freaky. And that's the bit that as bodybuilders we realistically want. I'm not saying you should neglect your soleus, which is on the outside of your calf. I'm not saying that at all, because you actually need to improve that to be able to build more gastroc. But it is one of those where anything we are working the gastroc, we want to be locking out the knee, because that will allow us the most stretch, the most contraction through the actual calf itself, rather than getting the quads involved or anything like that, taking away from the actual tension that we can produce in that muscle. But yeah, that's the full session, and then on to some posing.
Come in.